Hi, welcome to my totally legit K-pop news show. My name is Angelina and I'm your host for today on this fine Sunday, where we basically talk about all of the K-pop news from throughout the week. And today we're going to be talking about fans pointing out similarities between (G)I-DLE's Hwaa teaser number 2 and Blackpink's How You Like That music video, Dispatch reporting that GOT7 has disbanded, as well as Bom announcing her comeback, and a few of my thoughts regarding how she did so. And honestly, so much more. So if you're interested in these subjects, maybe just one or two of these subjects, I have separated this video into super fancy segments. So please feel free to scroll to wherever you would like to start. Will it mess with my watch time? Probably, but we all need to be humbled sometimes. But before we get into this video, please don't forget to like, comment, and share it with friends you don't have. You can also consider subscribing and clicking that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. You can also consider joining my channel memberships to get a cute Kevin emoji next to your name, among other things. So let's start off with my little segment that I like to call whack-ass things I found on Stan Twitter. So I actually received the following DM that says, "Hi Angelina, so Twitter is on fire. Basically the MV teaser for Hwaa, (G)I-DLE) has come out and it's really similar to Blackpink's How You Like That music video. So you can imagine Twitter. Could you talk about this like in the next video or something?" Let's take a little bit of a look into that. So when you go on Twitter and you search (I-DLE), the first things that do pop up are How You Like That and Blackpink. And yes, can confirm there's indeed some ass-hattery going on. So this is seemingly coming from (G)I-DLE's second music video teaser for their upcoming title track, Hwaa, which is actually coming out tomorrow. And after watching the teaser, I have to admit, the first time didn't really see anything. The second time started noticing what people are talking about. And as someone who is annoyingly observant, let me point out what I've noticed. So the first similarity is of course Minnie's hair paired with the white outfit, very similar to Lisa in How You Like That's teaser picture. But honestly, I have seen a lot of people praising this particular similarity. What people are really pointing out is the snow scene. So in How You Like That, they're dancing on kind of this platform that resembles ice, and there's snow in the background, and it reminded me a lot of kind of an old school video game. And (G)I-DLE similarly are dancing on what seems like ice with snow in the background and white outfits. Now, among other similarities that I think we could notice but might be a little bit of a stretch are the umbrellas and the red outfits, but that's more of a stretch. So of course, with these similarities, and I don't think there's any denying that there are similarities, whether or not it's plagiarism is a totally different story. In my opinion, I felt that (G)I-DLE changed things up enough to the point where their own style was added to it. I didn't notice it at first, to be honest. But you know, we have people pointing out that iBurn comes in 3 different versions. So fire version, flower version, and winter version. So of course it would make sense for them to use those elements within their own music video. While other people are just being mean and bringing Teddy into it, I don't leave him out of this. But I would love to know what you think. Do you think the similarities are a little bit too much? Do you think (G)I-DLE added enough of their own twist to these similarities that it doesn't really matter? I would love to know in the comments down below. As for me, because it's just a teaser, I'm gonna wait for the entire music video to come out. So if you're interested in why (G)I-DLE's Hwaa is familiar, then let me know in the comments down below, because the title is also a little bit familiar. Let's move on to GOT7. Now, there's a lot to cover because for a long time now, people have been accusing JYP of mismanaging the group. And more recently, it got a lot more traction, a lot more attention because of the seemingly lack of support that they had for their last comeback. For example, we had albums selling out during the pre-order phase, and we also had members themselves taking their own social media accounts to promote the comeback, among other things. But a few weeks ago, actually, we saw a few reports that member Jinyoung was leaning towards joining BH Entertainment. And now, on January 6th, it was reported that member Yugyeom was looking into entertainment companies as well. And in this report, they alleged that when his contract is up, he would be interested in joining AOMG, a company that was founded by former JYP label mate Jay Park. Can you imagine Yugyeom joining AOMG? I just thought it was really interesting. As for JYP's statements in regards to this, they've basically said that they've been discussing various possibilities for contract renewals and so on, and that they would let us know. However, there are other external things that are pointing to the fact that GOT7 will likely not go on. On Twitter, a fan noticed that JYP unfollowed a few members of GOT7, to which Bam Bam actually responded the following gif. And we also have fans noticing things that I can't quite fact check, such as, members deleting posts in regards or referencing JYP. And with that, we actually found out last night that Dispatch had reported that all members of GOT7 have decided to not renew their contracts with JYP Entertainment and that they would be seeking out other companies to continue their careers, though we're still waiting on an official statement by JYP in regards to this. But with this news, Mark actually went onto Twitter to write, "The past 7 years have been the best years of my life. Nothing is coming to an end, just the beginning. The 7 of us are going to continue to bring you guys the best version of us till the end. Hashtag GOT7 forever." With all members actually posting the same picture to their Instagram accounts with the same hashtag GOT7 forever. As for fans' response to this, it's of course a bit bittersweet, right? But a lot are very happy at the prospect of GOT7 no longer being under JYP, since it seems the company has been putting very little effort and resources into them as described earlier on. In fact, when you search GOT7 on Twitter, there are not only trending, but GOT7 is free and GOT7 freedom are the top search results. But I would love to know what you think of all of this, so please let me know in the comments down below. Now, let us move on to a little segment that I like to call Kpop Shenanigans, which is basically fun little things that have happened in K-pop recently. Don't forget, if you would like to suggest a news topic or perhaps suggest something for the Kpop Shenanigans section, you can of course do so over on my Instagram account. We have Alexa, who did a 2020 K-pop dance medley, which featured choreographies from NCT, ATEEZ, TWICE, and ITZY, among others. Ace released their collaboration with Steve Aoki for Favorite Boys featuring Tutmos. Hongjung from ATEEZ did a really emo cover of Numb by Linkin Park, which was liked by Linkin Park on Twitter. Stacey did a cover of Way to Go by Girls' Generation. P Nation has also announced that Hyuna will finally be having her comeback on January 28th. CL did Verified at Home, where she explains the meaning behind her song Hwaa, which I thought was super interesting, so I definitely recommend you go check it out. There's also this clip that has been going around, so enjoy.
How interesting is it in 2020 I have 4 verses? That alone I think is a fuck you to everyone.
And as for the K-pop meme of the week, well...
How do we laugh? We laugh politely.
Lastly, we're going to end off with Bom's comeback. So I do have to put a trigger warning because we are going to be discussing diet culture, and I really wish we could just talk about her comeback without mentioning this as well, but it seems pretty tied together as she teases said comeback with the reveal of her weight loss. So in a series of posts, she basically says she's preparing for her comeback and for fans to wait just a little bit longer. However, in one post in particular, she shows a before and after picture, the before picture being of her during the Grand Bell Awards, where she was very highly criticized for the way that she looked. And she writes, "This is how I looked last year. I was shocked and went on a diet." She goes on to say that because of her ADD medication, that it was difficult to lose the weight, but she has lost it and consequently has been taking less medication. "I feel like I'm getting healthier. I won't go back to my old self. Please look forward to my comeback." And with this, she is hashtagging a specific diet company, which is also what Shindong used for his quote-unquote transformation. And this company also has a bit of a sketchy history, but we'll get into that later. Now, the majority of people are, of course, praising her for this, but I do need to voice a few disclaimers. So things that are being said and done that are kind of normalized within society, like the collective society that we live in that values thin bodies over any other type of body, is not something that I personally normalize, and it's taken me years to unlearn this stuff. I'm not saying this in any way to demonize anyone, because I used to think the exact same way, but it's also not a bad thing to question these things and offer a different perspective. I'm saying this because for me it's quite triggering, and there's no way that I can sit here and be objective about this. There's no way. I love Bom. I've been supporting her for over 10 years. Like, she is my ultimate bias, and I can understand how traumatic it must have been when she was at the Grand Bell Awards and was annihilated for the way that her body looked. In fact, she makes reference to this event in her post, and I just think there's really a lot to dive into when it comes to this entire thing. But I do need to preface this by saying that I love her, and I understand the social factors that would lead someone to promote something like this. And I do plan on making a whole video about this and K-pop and diet culture and all of that stuff, but I did want to talk about this now because it's relevant. The thing is, she's been gone for so long, right? She's been gone for the entire of 2020. And that's the thing, she has so much more to offer us than just the way that her body looks, which is what people are mostly fixated on. Now, of course, with her, quote unquote transformation, we have the vast majority of people praising her, saying that she looks healthier and all of that jazz. And if someone feels healthier and is on a journey to self-improvement, I obviously have nothing against that. But there are ways in which it is done, or ways in which that it's promoted, that I take issue with, and I did want to offer a different perspective. So there were a few things that were quite concerning to me when I looked into this diet company in particular. There are a lot of people saying that this company is known for essentially causing a yo-yo effect, or a weight cycling effect. So you would lose the weight probably through restriction and then inevitably gain it back and then have to restrict again to be able to lose it again. And it creates this cycle because it's seemingly unsustainable. And this company is also known for having sued an idol after having gained weight after being on this diet. So this idol did the diet, lost the weight, and then gained that weight back and was sued by the diet company, which is just objectively fucked up. Because if you look into the science behind diets, and I'm not talking about like changing your diet, I'm talking about restrictive diets, then you'll know they cause increased anxiety, they cause increased depression, and you're more likely to binge because you are restricting. And another thing that really concerns me about this partnership is what they said about her. So they said that her case was basically their hardest case because she had extreme mood swings and wasn't able to control her appetite, which I think is many levels of problematic. So I just wanted to say I love her and I understand, the pressures of needing to look a certain way, but I need to let you know, as someone who watches me as a viewer, if you're hungry, you're allowed to eat. If you have an appetite, you're allowed to eat. You're allowed to enjoy food. And as a fan of her, I would much rather anticipate her music than have her weight be the focal point of conversations. And unfortunately, that's exactly what it's going to be. As for me, this is basically where we're going to end off this video. I will be leaving a ton of resources below, why before and after pictures are harmful. So if you're interested in learning more about those or unlearning specific things that are kind of like ingrained into us, feel free to check out the description box. A huge thank you to my channel members for supporting my channel on a monthly basis. Thank you for everything that you do. As for me, I'm gonna get going, so I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!